welcome back. Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, all you wonderful people out there. Danog is shaking his head because I haven't actually called him yet, so you get to see him, but he doesn't know that you are seeing him. He doesn't know, so we're not going to make sure that anything bad happens right now because, oh my god, I'm going to actually take it off just in case. Oh god, and there goes the ad. Another flawless start to the day. Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome. Now Danog knows that we're looking at him because we have been for the past couple of minutes. How you doing, my man?
Oh, look, what? You didn't let me know?
I
How
went
you
off
doing?
of it briefly. It was because I was worried that something was going to happen. But yeah, we're nothing bad happened. Nothing is wrong. We're all good. How you feeling, man? You excited for some Dota?
I am excited for some Dota. I hope you've got your monster ready and
Mhm.
are ready to watch some more C Dota. It's been pretty entertaining yesterday, and hopefully we get some more competitive series today.
That's right. It's something that we would definitely hope for. And speaking of potentially competitive series, we got a game that is already underway, a draft that has started. So let's hop into it right now. And you can look at more than just our ugly mugs as Boom ID is facing off against Reality Rift. Best of three. And I don't know exactly where to rate these teams. You had said that you felt like Boom was making some pretty big gains as an organization or as a organization over the past little bit. Reality Rift to me, Alacrity has at times looked like the best player in Southeast Asia and at times the worst player in Southeast Asia. I guess it just kind of comes with the territory.
It does, and I think that's just Southeast Asia in a nutshell. You've always had these potentials for being on either end of the
10
skill
seconds
spectrum, I
remaining.
suppose.
Right.
And you've got people that have come in that have
5
created more
seconds
structure around
remaining.
it so that that variance isn't quite as high as it used to be, but it's still there. It's like inherent to the DNA basically to have the potential to throw or make these massive plays.
Yeah, I agree. It's and it always makes for some entertaining uh atmospheres at least. And I think that for me at least the thing that sticks out often in the past for Reality Rift has been playing around
Radiant
Alacrity's
team
Ember
pick.
Spirit. They take it first phase. Something that we don't see all that
Fire
often, but it's
team
pretty
pick.
cool to see it. And then a Rubik Centaur following that two up as well. Exciting times. Real quickly, want to give a shout out before we get too far underway in the draft to Monster Energy, keeping us very energized through these late evenings, and of course, Loot.bet, the official sponsors, betting sponsors rather, of the BTS Pro Series. So we're gonna keep our eyes on the odds, see what ends up
10
happening
seconds
there, and
remaining.
we'll see if Boom ID, or rather Boom Esports now, because they've sort of changed their name
5
again,
seconds
have
remaining.
what it takes in this one. Some hard control, some good disengage. Centaur feels like he's all over the place nowadays.
He does, and but he's just a very safe and stable pick, right?
Yeah.
Can't really go all too wrong with a Centaur. Even if you're having a horrible game, you still got the Stampede to give your team some sort of a way out or into a team fight. The thing that really was not necessarily confusing to me throughout this draft, but the way that Boom Esports does things differently to the games that we saw, particularly yesterday, is that they were very much just death ball, all in, just go, go, go.
Mm.
Whereas Boom, their style is team fight. Like the heroes that they ban most are Death Prophet, Chen,
Dire team
Nature's
banished.
Prophet, these style of heroes. Whereas this time around, we don't see any of those bans come out really
Yeah.
from their side. It seems like Reality Rift have done their homework. They're banning out the top pick priorities for Boom, but it's good to see that Boom are incorporating some versatility into their style as well. You know, maybe we will see the first DP that they've picked in this entire patch.
Could be cool. I'd be down
10
to see that.
seconds remaining.
I think it kind of takes away the
5
potential
seconds
for
remaining.
Reality Rift to run DP. I think because you've got this Centaur, it's like always really annoying when you pop exorcism and then there's just like there's no way to hold on to these things that you want to just let the little ghosts hit.
Mm.
So unlikely that that's going to be coming out for them. But definitely if Boom ID wanted
Radiant
to,
team
I'm never going to
banished.
stop calling them Boom ID. I swear, I'm the worst. They banned the Oracle, so maybe anticipating that that's that nice little combo that you have with it occasionally. Um,
Hmm.
is there any danger to taking an Ember Spirit this early on? Like we've seen some people move it to position 4 if it gets super heavily countered, but at least to me, I'm feeling like this is going to be Alacrity's hero. Are you worried taking it this early? Can't you just pick
10
something that
seconds
destroys this guy?
remaining.
Yeah, I mean, you're always opening yourself up to some level of risk, and that's probably
5
why they've
seconds
gone ahead and
remaining.
banned the Oracle as one of the big counters for the Ember Spirit. But
Hmm.
it's good to see a team being confident in what they can do rather than scared of what the enemy team is able to punish them with. Like, back your skill in because at the end of the day, that's what's going to win you most of the games. Is having that confidence, as long as it's measured confidence to be able to take it through.
Okay. confidence. It's key. It's so important. That's something that definitely is not lacking in the Southeast Asian region.
Oh
Um,
yeah, that's that is there. Trust me. Like these players are so self-assured about everything. You can't tell them what they should be doing their way or the highway.
yeah, totally.
Radiant
Yeah, get
team
gone
pick.
out of my pub otherwise is something. I've only played a couple of games in sea. I played a lot more in China, which is a very different environment as well. I did get flamed in China a couple of times as well, but you know,
Did
it,
you understand how you were being flamed?
yes,
Oh,
question marks transcend cultural barriers. And I
okay.
got many of them. Got
Yeah.
a lot from my
10
team as
seconds
well as the
remaining.
opponent team. But that's what
Yeah.
happens. Oh
I mean, the
god.
great thing about C though
5
is
seconds remaining.
compared to
Fire
other
team
scenes, there's
pick.
very rarely any sort of like hard throws. Like you
Yeah.
will rarely see a tiny airlines happen in mid.
Mhm.
Rarely see someone drop their items and destroy them. It's just try hard from start to finish. And if a team says GG end not defending, they're freaking defending. Like don't
Yeah.
don't believe a word they're saying.
Trying to put the mental
10
damage into
seconds
somebody. Totally.
remaining.
Okay. And well, yeah, throw them off guard afterwards, and they're
5
like, okay,
seconds
they're
remaining.
not going to defend anymore. Ricky gets taken. High damage, much stronger laner than he used to be. I I always feel like Ricky should be winning more than he is in these pro games just because of like how much damage he does, but you do kind of like run into this weird dynamic where I think about him in like comparison to like a PA, for instance, right? Where you have that like just blow up the one target. He's sort of close to that, but not fully. Like teammates can help you out and get out of the or the trouble that you're in with force staffs or what have you. He's sort of like an ember spirit where he can like jump around and be elusive, but he doesn't have that level of control that the slight chains give you. He's kind of like jack of all trades and master of none in a way,
Yeah.
but mainly focused on the damage side of things.
And it might force people to go into this four staff build on Reality Rift. It's one of those things that does counter the smoke. It allows you to stop being fully comboed together by the Rubik Centaur as well. So we could see it, even though it's not the ideal build for every single support hero these days. So interested to see how Reality Rift go about it, and as well if they're going to get any of
Radiant
these
team
heroes that
pick.
just get up in on someone's
Mirana.
face and can use the dust to full effectiveness, because that's something
Yeah,
that does still take care of Ricky
Dire
relatively
team
well.
pick.
yeah, just get like a spear breaker. Get in there, run after him. I want to
Mm,
see it. They take the Grimstroke now. That's kind of cool. I always think about
yeah.
like obviously Soulbind ulti. Rubik, it's like whatever, but you could steal Lich's ulti maybe. Then you've got like the greatest combo in the world. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
It's a lot of damage coming out
10
as well,
seconds
Yeah.
remaining.
Rubik, Fade Bolt, Double Edge, of course, anything to do with
5
silence,
seconds
and as
remaining.
well, you can kind of keep people locked in the same place if you get a right Soulbind
Radiant
followed by a
team
Smoke Cloud
back.
as well. So we'll see how that one goes. I wonder if this is going to be your position 3 Mirana that you were telling me about from your pubs yesterday, or if it
Hey,
will be
let's
the pos
go.
4, more standard.
I like it. Personally, I've been playing it a little bit more, and I think it's quite strong. Obviously things get a little bit weird when you're getting into like mind games against pro players
10
because it's
seconds
hard to
remaining.
outmaneuver them, right? It's hard to outthink somebody that quickly.
5 seconds
But
remaining.
just having like that initial setup for it. So one of the ways that we've seen in the past is like a wyvern with a Marana, and then you have Winter's Curse into arrow, easy setup, easy kill. There's the classics. They don't really have the greatest of setups right now, but I remember back in the day, in South America and probably other regions as well, there were times where Ember Spirit would go for like a 4-4-0 build, and then be like really easy setups for the arrow in the mid lane. I want to say that was mainly in South America, but I think it went to other regions as well, where you just like try and get a lot of points up in the chains to hold them in place for an
Dire
arrow.
team ban.
Just thinking of what Reality Rift are going to do to round out this draft. They don't have the most games to base things off, at least on this patch. They've only
Yeah.
played 6, I think, since 7.25 came out versus Boom's 20.
Mhm.
So it's a bit of a variance there. They've played a bit of Faceless Void, they've played a bit of Dragon Knight, alternating between mid and safe lane.
Mhm.
10
So
seconds remaining.
I don't know. I feel like that would leave them a little bit too frontline
5
heavy.
seconds remaining.
I mean, I
Okay.
suppose they don't have a ton of magic damage right now, so something like a DK could be pretty useful.
I'd be down for DK. Sounds like fun. I mean, get the towers down. Why not? That would
Hmm.
mean you're talking about for Reality
Red
Rift and then
team
switching the
pick.
Ember to safe lane. I'm assuming.
No, no, you could do Safe Lane Dragon Knight as well.
Okay, that'd be cool. Who was it that played that the other day? Was it Gabby?
Gabby, yeah.
Yeah, that did look kind of neat from TNC.
Until they got stomped.
Hey man,
Wait, no,
no,
they didn't get stomped.
reverse that.
It was,
Yeah.
I think it
They
was
played
Raven as well.
CR.
Did Raven play it?
He might have.
Yeah.
10
That could have
seconds
been. I don't know.
remaining.
I don't remember. It all blends together. There's a
Yeah.
couple of games I
5
remember from that
seconds
one,
remaining.
but even just yesterday, especially because they were stomps. I've seen a lot of stomps recently. Hopefully, we
Yeah,
have some
it was-
freaking
Radiant
series
team
today.
pick.
It was a flurry of activity, and it's a Shadow Fiend. Okay, something a little bit different.
So offlane Marana or Slardar? Likely Slardar, I'm thinking at this
Yeah.
point.
I think you need to get up the level of tankiness and beefiness. Yeah, you've got it with the Lich, to be able to just get in there on the front lines,
10
find the
seconds
Ricky
remaining.
before you get burst down yourself. And I just don't think you have the tools for that if you're
5
playing it as the
seconds
position
remaining.
4.
Okay. All right, well we'll see. And then we've got, I mean, one of the cool things that you've got now is like that minus armor type of strategy, right? If Shadow Fiend goes for like one of these just survive, get that presence aura out, and then suddenly Ember's damage is like significantly boosted up out the wazoo with a corrosive haze on somebody. And right now, boom, they don't really have the tankiest of heroes. I guess Ricky has pretty good armor. Obviously, Centaur's big, but he doesn't have the greatest like armor himself, so he's going to need to build into something to deal with that too. Otherwise, they're just going to get shredded.
Yeah. I'm thinking what they could go for. Kunkka maybe. Oh, OD. Yeah, that's one of the top 3 that I was thinking. So OD, Kunkka, as well as the Void Spirit were 3 that do get picked up a lot by Boom, but I think 2 of those get countered relatively well by this Alacrity Shadow Fiend. So you're just left with the OD.
For some reason, I thought that there's an invoker in the game. I was like, all right, Alacrity. Yeah, it always takes me a second. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be hopping into a game right now, and I know that you're going to all cry to not be able to see our faces, but we are going to switch back over into the thing, and we'll be back a little bit later on. Don't worry. You're still going to get to listen to our voices, though, so half of the greatness is there. Yeah, I'm enjoying the, like, it's weird being on camera during the draft when you're not at an actual event. I don't normally do that with the webcam, but I liked it. It was nice.
Yeah, something a little bit different.
Totally fancy. All right, so game number 1, boom, Esports facing off against Reality Rift. We'll see who it is that is going to be able to take this game. As far as the stakes, again, keep in mind this is a round robin group stage with all 8 teams facing off against each other in between. Well, starting yesterday and then going all the way until the 28th, if I'm not mistaken, or something like that. And then, of course, later on, when you get towards the final bit, there's going to be a playoff matchups that's going to be happening as well. So a whole round of Dota 2 that's coming through. And, you know, if you're feeling so inclined, come and check it out. It's going to be some great Dota. And you can see the bets already. They're favoring Boom a little bit over Reality Rift. So we're looking at 1.5 to 2.48. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. If you had to, gun to my head, say who you're going to go for, I would say Boom. Just in any general setup, unless it's a massive outdraft, which I don't think it is.
Okay. I like it. Well, as far as the Marana again and the early movement around the map, I am curious if where they're going to stick her, because you can move on. And that's what we're gonna do.
Pretty good.
We're gonna move on in this game, as a matter of fact. Oh, perfect. So Makoto playing on the OD. We've got Dreamocell already sitting out with a bunch of tangos. I think I was talking about those, like that high armor that you got on this guy. 6 base or whatever, and going up against the Marana, it's gonna be somewhat helpful. Although it looks like Hustler's heading up top. Wonder if they are gonna. Oh, I guess just gonna look for first blood, probably. That makes sense.
Yeah, just for it's always useful to have, especially someone like a Rubik. You don't want to get caught out on your own.
Definitely.
FBZ getting a couple of those retaliate stacks up. He's already got, like we saw the other day, all of those Ring of Regens. He got the Ring of Health eventually. I don't think he went the Heart of Tarask on the Man, who was it? It was in that like 3-kill, 21-kill game. I
Yeah, I think it was CR. I think it was them that got it on their Centaur. I'm not sure.
30 seconds to battle.
KYXY down here alone for the moment. Did get down a ward to scout out any rotations. They have one up on the high ground here for Radiant as well. We could be spoiling for a fight a little bit. We got 3 heroes top right now for Boom. I don't know if they're going to make the move for it or not, but it's something to watch out for.
Yeah, who's going to be feeling more confident? You can see Hyde, he's kind of sort of positioning himself up here. Mirana going down below, so trying to get in on a different angle. Can he catch someone out?
The root, the connection, the stun, it's there. It's a good amount of damage, but I don't know if it's going to end up mattering. I think it's just going to give him retaliate stacks. He's walking away, still living for the moment. The regen isn't quite going to be enough. They get the kill. Well done as Drew picks it up. So that was better than I thought they were going to be able to do.
Yeah, that Blightstone really coming in handy when you've got multiple people hitting onto someone with that -2 armor. It comes in big and was the difference. I think one more right click and if he was able to survive for that long, and he would have got away.
And they got every bounty rune. Every bounty rune, and they also managed to get First Blood. What a start for Reality Rift. Holy crap. That's insane.
Pretty handy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good way to start it, especially with a hero like Shadowfeed, where you want to be able to snowball early on, get those extra items that allow you to take dominance over the laning stage. OD's always going to be able to deny out at least one range creep, right?
Yeah, it's true. Did manage to get that one over there as well. Wasn't sure if that was a range or not, because I wasn't able to see it. But at least so far, Makoto's seeming to have a really good time against the Shadow Fiend, which is what you'd expect in the early goings at the very least. See if you can keep it up later.
And he needs to make sure that he does this at the level 1 and 2 stage, because once Shadowfiend hits that level 3, you know, it's only 150 damage, but that kill potential starts to happen.
Right. Yeah, it's really scary. Just how quickly things can turn around in that Shadowfiend matchup. And, you know, if you do end up using the Astral Imprisonment, I guess that there isn't really the greatest heroes for roaming again, like we've been talking about. Mirana would probably be the best one, and it's not exactly like easy to just hit a blind arrow in mid lane. As Drew throws out the chains, he's going to be able to have the salve and the backup if he needs to. He will do that now.
Yeah, good patience to be able to hold off onto the Searing Chains for that long. He just panicked a little bit and tried to use it straight away. One of those heroes on Boom's side probably would have been able to catch him and finish him off.
Ooh, and Hustler gets the snipe on the Centaur right there. The range creep shouldn't be killed off because of it. A stomp comes in the top lane as well, as they're trying to get aggro onto Hyde here. Drew, seeing if they can go for the rundown. He does hang on that Flame Guard, not opting to use it right now. Oh, and they just kill him bottom? Okay. That's pretty big.
Yeah, trying to go a little bit too deep, use all of those charges on the Blink Strike, and paying for it. You know, you've got a tanky Slardar that he's got the Ring of Protection, he's already got decent base armor, and then you've got this Mirana with the Blightstone that's able to turn anything around and punish accordingly.
Yeah. Happens very, very quickly. And they're going to do another pull here. This is just a single pull, though. As long as they keep this one blocked off, then they're not going to be able to get the pull through afterwards. So this is going to be pushing into Dire relatively shortly.
Nice little mindset from Kevskewt as well, making sure that he's cut out this tree towards the bottom of the hard camp and standing in it to block the creep spawns there. So Mirana's not going to be able to get that Sacred Arrow experience as using the arrow.
Yeah. Just pressed the wrong button. Whoops. Yeah. Well, they get another pullback. Have to be careful though, because I mean, Dreamocell's not really gotten that much CS so far. Slardar's kind of owning in these early goings. His top lane, they're trying to go on to Hyde. We'll find the chains. Don't have any points up in Sleight of Fist, but they don't need them. Nuts just finishes off the kill, while FBZ was pulling the wave back behind the tower. So they managed to get this one, some amount of creeps denied out, but it's not absolutely amazing.
Yeah, and you can see Drew, he's trying to keep the creep equilibrium there so that they can get this pull off onto the wave and just continue to nudge it more and more towards their tower. So Hyde, kind of the sacrificial lamb in making sure that they were able to farm safely for this Centaur, at least for the short term. now we're going to see a lot more scrimmages happening now that they've got these extra early levels.
Dude, I don't know. This is looking rough right now for Boom. Like, if I'm looking at Reality Rift, the Slardar is popping off early on. They got that kill. They managed to get all the bounty runes. The first blood was there for them earlier. Like, it's 1,000 gold lead. Not anything to write home about, but it feels like the only lane that's going kind of well is Makoto. And he's not careful. He might have gone down as well. Does pick up the raindrops now, so that'll make the lane a little bit easier. But it's not like Shadow Fiend's hurting either.
Yeah, he only narrowly missed out on dying Makoto there. Alacrity just a little bit short on his close range Shadow Rays, as you can see. He's constantly getting bullied out. Only has the Ring of Regen and those raindrops to be able to sustain through it all.
Dire's top tower is under
Easy. They're getting onto him now. Again, the Flame Guard is there. The TP away. No way to break it at the moment. So he will have to get out of dodge. Went all the way back home. And they're going to get this pull off too. So doesn't even look like it's going to push back by the tower when he gets there. A really nice early game so far for Reality Rift.
Yeah, absolutely. Always making sure to have the kill potential here on Alacrity as well. He's got the mango that he's just popped. He's gone into a bottle, so he wants to be able to, well, take Makoto down from 50% life to 0 if the opportunity presents itself.
Nice dodge of the arrow there. Kezcute not going to be found. Yeah, we'll see what build this SF goes. His entire stash is full of small, tiny items. He's bringing that stick out for himself right now.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You do have the capability to flash farm very easily as a Shadow Fiend, especially once you hit that level 7. So I think that's the main priority for himself. Now he should hit it around the 7-minute mark, which will coincide with those first neutral items. So it's going to give him an even additional boost.
We'll throw out there of Stroke of Fate. Looks like they're fine. A 2,000 gold lead now as they continue to accelerate not just the CS battle, but also kind of looking like they're just winning the regen wars as well. Makoto already going to be rushing likely a 4-staff here based upon his early pickups.
And the thing is, though, at least for Boom, they haven't left themselves super vulnerable if they do, like this is suggesting, lose the early game. You know, there aren't some crazy pushing heroes on Reality Rift's side like the Chen or Drew.
He's out of there. That was close though. Yeah, the push is not amazing.
Yeah. Shadow Fiend's pretty good, but, you know, he's no Death Prophet.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And it kind of is more predicated upon them winning a fight really badly and then going for it. Maybe he goes for the Presence or Effects buildings. That'd be pretty cool. I wouldn't mind seeing that. But I feel like that's been almost not seen at all. As Drew making a couple tower shots, still thinking about diving this. This is a little bit dangerous here. He's not careful. FBZ, is he going to go down? Doesn't even get the double edge off, so never mind. They aren't able to do anything to that. That dive did not go the way that, you know, Reality Rift would have wanted it, with him taking some tower shots, but they still managed to get the kill and get out with the Ember.
Yeah, leaves Ricky down here solo as well, so you can see instantly Hustler. He's trying to look around, trying to see if he can make things happen. Maybe he might try and stack once and then move around towards this mid lane.
Well, and Ricky, I mean, KYXY is going to get level 6 in a second, and then, I mean, Ricky might be in a lot of trouble very rapidly. Yeah, he's almost got 6. He's trying to kill off these range creeps right now and see if he can go on him. He's just coming in and denying everything. Oh. All right, there's level 6. They got the vision. They got the stun. Arrow, not going to be on the mark, but still they can dive this. Like, there's nothing to stop them from doing this at all. Maybe now with the TP, they're finally going to back out. There was a Stampede popped on the other side of the map. Crush comes out, trying to take down KYXY. Did he go a bit too far? Blink Strike afterwards, trying to get the vision, but they're not going to find him. And instead, the turn back onto Hustler, as he needs to get out of dodge, will be able to make the escape. Again, just taking through tower shots. They weren't able to get the kill, though.
Not able to get the kill, just missing on the arrow as well. It's a little bit of a failed gank, but again, both sides, I think they're keen to take this to the later stage.
Yeah.
They want to show their teamfight prowess. They don't need to go this full push strat. I'm happy that there's different forms of the meta that are still present.
Yeah, that's true. It's something that's kind of been lost a little bit in the past. Ooh, Mango Tree and Royal Jelly. Alacrity is about it.
I mean, especially as a Shadow Fiend, right?
Yeah.
Just gives you that additional burst potential early on, and then as this game goes later, sure, they don't have this massive boost right now with something like a Keen Optic, for example, but you're just going to have passively 2 more neutral items usable by your team as it gets into that second tier, third tier of neutral items.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. It's going to make that timing that much stronger. But speaking of which, it's around that 10-minute mark. Taking a look at the net worth, it's almost all inhabited by the Reality Rift cores, as there is going to be a kill down bottom. Mirana goes down. They're contesting for this side of the map. A lot of heroes over here. Get the amp damage, or the crochet haze. And it looks like it is going to just be a trade-off of outposts, 1 apiece. And boom, able to get a couple bounty runes this time for themselves.
Alright, so a little victory. They had to use, I believe it was a couple of charges of the Blink Strike before it was able to restore up, so wasn't able to use that last one to try and chase any sort of additional kill other than the Mirana. And, we're going to see that constantly happening throughout this laning stage and the early to mid game. You know, I feel like Boom's going to try and get aggressive early on. They're getting close to a few key items here. See a smoke already coming up from Kezcute towards the top side. They're going to try and get a pick off onto Drew here.
Yeah, this would be really nice for them. They've got to get it ready. They don't have any points in Cloud yet. The stun, it's going to be there. And with the silence afterwards, easy as pie.
Yeah, that's exactly what they need to do. Now, even though they don't have this massive push lineup, they've still got a creep wave here. They've still got 3 heroes on the top side. They've taken the team fight in a vulnerable area for Reality Rift. But on the other side, you've got a double damage Shadow Fiend and a Siege Creep. So they're happy to do this trade.
Yeah. And there's a TP actually that's coming back behind the tower, and that throws the Frost Shield onto him. Good jump away coming in there from Dreamocell. The Fear pulls him back in. Amp damage, Corrosive Haze. The follow-up in some trouble now. Dreamocell could think about jumping off to the side, but he just accepts his fate. He's done. FBZ, in the meantime, trying to stay very quiet off in the trees. And is going to have the Courier delivering him his phase boots afterwards. Not enough mana for a TP out yet.
Yeah, I mean, Reality Rift, again, getting the better half of that. They took out the tower, they took out the carry on their side, and it was only for the loss of Nuts. And sure, he had to use the chain for us to be able to do it, but think of this time that FBZ's just been sitting in his tree doing nothing. He didn't even have the mana to be able to do it.
Yeah, it's not easy. This game has not looked amazing. They moving forward, trying to find Alacrity. Oh, God, and he is living life on the edge right now. They're going to see him off to the side, back behind the trees. They want to find the opening. Arrow dodge back by Hyde. Oh, man, and he didn't even have vision there, I don't think. Meanwhile, secondary arrow, not quite going to be in range. Makoto will get the TP out. No, wait, what? He canceled the TP?
I mean, maybe they're keen to fight, but I don't know. You don't really have the heroes for it.
I mean, they are all here. The follow-up is coming, but they have a haste rune on Drew. Makoto is in trouble as they're going to go forward for this one. Find the shackles, triple remnant forward. The arrow goes through the dead body, and Reality Rift are just going to run through Boom. The cancel, I don't know why he canceled his TP.
Yeah, maybe thinking, I don't know, he was going to get bashed by the Slardar and try and make something happen. It seems really confusing to me. And Dreamocell, throughout all of that, he still doesn't have a TP. So if they're on point with looking at the Rikimaru, they're going to keep this aggression up, or at least go for something keen and maybe try and follow up with some further kills.
That was so bizarre. He's going to be kicking himself after that one. Man, Makoto feeling sheepish. He does go for a little bit of a dig there, but it's only going to be what do you get, the salve or TP? He didn't get anything he wanted. He wanted his TP back. That's what he wanted. But regardless, 4,000 gold lead now, and they are ready to go again. Could be a little bit scary since they have Sanity's Eclipse still, and there were some ultis expended there. Actually, Alacrity still has Requiem. He's just going to die again. Makoto gets jumped on, and oh, God. What a tragic 42 seconds for Makoto.
Radiant structures are fortified.
He hasn't really picked up all too much. He's still 500, 600 gold away from that 4-star. So any sort of gank like that, you're in a very vulnerable position, my friend.
Damn, game is hard. Kezcute?
Radiant's middle tower has
Oh,
fallen.
it almost got him there. Those are the arrows you love to hit as Mirana. Oftentimes they bait you into just like getting your team wiped though, so you know, you take it good with the bad.
I think they're comfortable with the positioning, and look at all these heroes. They're rotating down towards the bottom side. They know that that's probably where Dreamer Cell's farming, and he doesn't have that Diffusal Blade yet. He's still about, what, 800 gold away? Wasn't clipped by that dust, but still, it's a risky proposition for him to be farming in these dangerous places, but I think that's kind of what Boom needs to be doing to give themselves a chance to come back into this.
I agree. It's so hard right now because, you know, on the one hand, yes, you'd love to be able to just, I don't know, you'd love to be able to farm your Ricky in a safe place, but it's just not fast enough, really. So he kind of has to inhabit that a little bit more dangerous role or what have you, because otherwise you don't clear through camps quick enough. Then you can maybe like stay behind enemy lines, farm in or whatever. But I guess the other thing that is really concerning to me about this is that it's a hero that is going to not fall off, but if he can't get kill after kill after kill, like what is his role in this game?
Yeah, you need to be looking to pick off these relatively squishy supports. You know, you can do that once you've got the Diffusal Blade, especially against something like a Mirana. You know, if you're able to just walk out of your smoke screen, that's a gank wasted. That's time which could be spent farming. So there's key timing on Dreamer Cell with picking up the D-Blade. Now he's got the Implore as well, so that extra burst potential is really nice, but he's still, what, 450 gold away.
Well, we'll see. Another shawl for the Shadow Fiend, Vampire Fangs for the Centaur. They're going to try and find him here. They don't have any points in Cloud, though. He took his talent, so they can't set up onto Drew. They need the lift first. Are they going to find it? No. He just gets out. And immediately, Reality Rift pushing down bottom lane. KYXI spots out Kezcute. The arrow's not long enough, but KYXY sure as heck is. Well, they force out that Stampede, and he's going to back out now.
Well, they found Nuts, but he's fine. Only the support's there to try and punish him. Very dominant position for Reality Rift to be in right now. They've picked up all of these neutral items that they've secured for themselves. It's a Pupil's Gift going onto the Slardar, so he's becoming more of a damage-dealing nuisance as well. Pretty risky for Boom, but they're still keen to fight. They've got the Diffusal Blade just now, and they want to go straight away.
Oh, they dropped down the Sentry Ward and spot out Kezcute right there. Did that give vision? I think that it might have. They're going to throw out the arrow now. Oh, and if the Sentry Ward didn't give him vision, then that one definitely did. Lordy. Man. Jeez. Game is hard.
Yeah. That's the thing as well. You know, you've got this Ember Spirit, so he's TP'd up. He's continuing to push out this top lane so that if they do win a fight, they can take it in an advantageous position. They can do Roshan. They're just being more efficient around the map. And he's still got this Remnant sitting towards the mid lane, so it's a nice luxury to have.
Yeah, totally. Well, Drew finds himself an Essence Ring. It's going to be a nice little treat for somebody. Dremocell. He is going to continue to try and farm up and get towards those items. The Imp Claw is nice. He's got the Diffusal Blade too, a point in Cloud. We'll see if they can make the moves that they need to and set up for kills. The problem is that at this point, it feels like Reality Rift's draft almost plays itself, where they don't need to split up and like back out to farm. All they really need to do is like move together, take objectives.
Trying to wrap here, trying to find Makoto. A lot of the Boom heroes are sitting around top, but this OD sitting in a precarious position here.
And they find, I mean, it's so easy. It's so easy to get that kill. It's not even necessarily that the OD is doing things bad. Like, he's had a couple of misplays here in this game for sure, but when you're this far ahead, it's gonna happen like this. Man.
He already finished the 4-star and he went for a Staff of Wizardry. He's been toggling back and forth in his quick fire between the BKB and the Ags, but it just feels like he can't even get anything off. He's getting instantly picked up. And, they're getting this burst through onto him.
And in a way, it almost feels like because of that, like the OD is the person that you want to have be gone on last, right? But Boom just don't have the ability to take the fight because they're always on the back foot. They're not the ones that are setting things up. Like, ideally, it'd be Centaur that gets gone on first, right? And then maybe you can save with an Astro at the last second or something. But, you know, earlier on when he did the long TP down to the outpost and then, you know, canceled it, and then they ended up being able to find that kill. Then later on when they were mid and then they smoked in and found that kill. And just now as well, it's like 3 times in a row where he's found at the beginning, and that's normally what you'd be willing to do with the Ricky draft. Like Ricky would be the one that's out there finding the initiation, but it just hasn't gone their way.
Especially a Ricky Grimstroke as well, and you can see they just feel a little bit scattered, the style that they're trying to do.
Totally.
Got a Rubik Stolen Remnant, so he's going to have some more maneuverability, but
That's
I'm not sure
nice.
if it's going to be enough.
I always love stealing that on Rubik. It's great. Go get the Aegis now. I believe in you. I mean, they actually might. Unironically, they could. They realize that they're in here. Oh god, they have sentries? They don't have any sentries. Oh no. Moonlight Shadow, chase down Remnant, trying to run away. Makoto staying alive. Maybe he can do something here, but the arrow comes through. Then the follow-up stun. Makoto is done. Buyback already came from the Grimstroke. Now trying to find his way out of here. Dreamocell, as well as poor old Hyde, are going to get ran down. And this might be a dieback for Kezcute. He gets the bounty rune first, so that's something for his troubles. But in the end, it is going to be more pain and no gain. Reality Rift completely dominant.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
I feel like we might be seeing a GG pretty soon. Just a guess. It just doesn't feel like they have a way to come back into this game. You know, there were a couple of times after things weren't going their way that I think the previous death, Makoto, the rest of his team smoked up to try and make some space for him, but you're not winning these team fights 5v5 and you're trying to make something aggressive happen 4v5. You're not going to farm up the rest of your Ag Scepter in that time that they're able to create space for you. I don't know, it just seems a little bit risky, and that's some of the benefit of Reality Rift taking these fights really well, in that to pick off Makoto, they don't need to use their ultimates. You know, maybe the Slaughter, but that's a 5-second cooldown.
You're not wrong. It's a pretty good spell to get out there. And it's kind of what we were talking about before, right? Where it's like, this is a lineup that if you do manage to sort of get ahead and Shadow Fiend can survive in a fight, then you've got all this minus armor, and that just means that you're free to go to town on Drew. He's doing whatever he wants in this game, and it's all amped up. Terrifying.
Yeah. I mean, speaking before about the variance of alacrity in that he can have an amazing game or a not so great one, despite the fact that he was, oh, well, we're going to see another death here.
No. Oh. You know, everybody is remembering back in, like, now the Yule's Scepter with Void Spirit, but this is the original. Yule's Scepter on Mirana. Just make life miserable.
Who needs another hero to set it up for you, right?
Yeah. Oh, this is a good play. Nicely done with that Force Staff. I see you, Makoto. Although it's not quite going to be enough, it looks like. Stun to try and turn it. The fear, the pull back in. Can they keep FBZ alive? The Sage Eclipse gets the kill. That's only the Aegis, though. Now trying to live. This chase down could come in a second. Drew, has he gone a bit too far? He's not able to make the turnaround happen. Alacrity pops his ultimate. That does allow the rest of them to escape, but they lost Drew. Can you find any more as Boom now? Or are you going to overextend? They don't have Requiem anymore. But this Moonlight Shadow, it's about to wear off now. They're waiting on the high ground. Oh, Makoto, don't walk up that hill. Don't walk up that hill. He knew. He knew. Never in doubt.
He's like, oh, thank you, Ice Frog, for the scan. Because he was going to do it if he didn't have that.
Yeah. Jeez.
Dreamocell, he's just looking to maybe pick off one of these support stragglers, but it's going to be KYXY. He's way too tanky. He's soloed.
True enough. Yeah, they do have at least this outpost. I think they kept that one through the last round of engagements on Boom. So they're getting, like, they're at least not getting trounced in the XP. But...
Another smoke about to happen mid, I think.
Okay. They've lost the top 2 towers Reality Rift have. So Boom could hypothetically, you know, if... They don't really even have great heroes for split pushing, though, to be honest.
Nope. I mean, that's the downside of banning out all this stuff, right? Is that you become vulnerable yourself. Nuts, I'm really liking this build as well. He's gone into the Ghost Scepter, so even if that Ricky jumps on you, you don't need a Force Staff. You can just Ghost Scepter and walk out of it eventually. By that point, he can get the Frost Shield off onto himself, and that Ricky's damage is heavily nullified. You're also not going to get this OD stealing up your intellect through his right clicks. I'm really enjoying it. Now he just needs to hit that level 12, so his teamfight presence is even stronger.
Yeah, it's a nice little bump. 150 extra damage. The incremental damage goes up a little bit. The biggest thing for me, at least, is that cooldown. So nifty.
Yeah, I think Lich Ultimate is probably one of the best scaling ones in the entire game. You've got these heroes like Kunkka, which it's like, oh, you get an extra 100
Right.
damage. Like, oh, great, you know? Whereas Lich, it's really noticeable.
Dude, I'd level stats over level 2 bows. You kidding me? Only. Go back to the days. Alright, well, they have pipe
Dire's top
done.
tower
Looks
is
like
under attack.
Crimson Guard is actually almost there for FBZ. He's kind of been the
Shadows
lone
take
bright
us.
spot in this game for Boom, it feels like. And with the pipe done, you know, getting into that Crimson Guard, I almost would have rather seen maybe that, oh god, DDSF. That's spooky. I almost would have rather seen the Halberd before the Crimson Guard, but it's going to be potentially good. So we'll see. Banished. Alacrity gets the slow down there with the Stroke of Fate, but nothing else coming. They're waiting up top. They want to try and get a kill on the comeback. Doesn't look like they're finding it, though.
He didn't get the Presence Aura effects buildings though, so not wanting to go all in, just valuing that movement speed, which is completely understandable. Again, against a Riki, against a Centaur, against a Grimstroke even, to be able to run away from all of these close range things. I feel like Reality Rift have done a good job of taking fights in areas that they want to. They don't want to get bottlenecked in one small cubicle.
Yeah. Everybody hates cubicles. They're
Yeah.
the worst. Did you ever have to work in a cubicle?
No, it was always like a hot desk situation, which was probably even worse, especially now with this virus environment.
That sounds
It's like,
terrible.
oh, you're going to be working on this desk this day. And it's like, well, I don't want to have their germs, you know?
Stay away. It's not the place to be. Well, 8,000 gold lead right now, 6 to 17. And you do see Reality Rift playing it a little bit more conservatively now since the Aegis is gone. Obviously, a while ago in that fight. There's still 2.5 minutes roughly until Roche will respawn. They can try and run in there and gobble up some cheese. OD actually almost has his level 3 ulti also and picked up that Aghanim Scepter. I mean, again, like the way that this draft feels like it could play out in the team fights for Boom has the potential to be nice, you know? You get in there with the Centaur, create some chaos. Makoto builds up some stacks with the Astral Imprisonment, and then you just drop the hammer at the end. Is there still a chance that they can like take the fight effectively if they're in formation?
I think you still need to wait for this BKB, and I think Reality Rift realized that. They're going to try and be aggressive before that Kianim's able to come up online for him. You've also got the level 18 ready to come up for the OD, which will be very dangerous. One big benefit for them is that they've got the telescope available on the Rubik, so that's going to buff up the range that the Astral Imprisonment can be cast from.
Okay. Sounds nice. I mean, yeah, that's the thing to watch for. I guess speaking of BKBs though, you know, having it now on the Shadow Fiend. Ember has one also. What about the Slarder? He's got one. So you kind of need to wait out the BKBs of Reality Rift too in the midst of the fight and just hope that you can survive through it because they have like no damage right now through BKB at all. Boom.
And all you really have that pierces spell immunity is the Soulbind. So when that BKB is popped, there's not really all too much that you can do on Boom's side to stop the Shadow Fiend.
I think the nicest part will probably be getting that Soulbind onto Ember, though. Him not being able to jump around is going to be really important, probably in the duration of that BKB. But then it's like, okay, after you get that out there and you stop him from going crazy in the duration of his BKB, do you have enough damage without the Soulbind to win the rest of the fight? And that's what's going to be tough. It's going to be tough.
Lucky regen rune again picked up. It feels like Alacrity has been a little bit blessed here with what he's been able to pick up. He's even got the spider legs so that he's going to be moving around a lot faster.
Oh, Stampede, gotta get away. Pipe, Crimson Guard, nothing. He's just done. Does not have buyback either. Oof, that one hurts. And right now, Reality Rift also holding both outposts. I mean, can they hold this push? Ugh.
Probably not. I mean, maybe if they had the Lich on their side, it would be a bit more of a possibility. Grimstroke's Stroke of Fate is always kind of nice. What's he stolen? He's stolen the Remnants.
They do need to be careful about overextending here. Roche is going to be back up in about a minute, so if somehow Boom are able to win this fight, they have a very clear objective they can go for afterwards. We'll see if Reality Rift want to push the tempo at all, sort of force this fight. Kodo?
See Dreamer still, he's waiting behind as well. He's trying to pick up some of these supports.
Yeah, All right, they've got the same Eclipse charges built up. They just dropped the ulti immediately. It's not quite enough. Drew is living through that. They weren't able to do it. Can they get that kill? Dreamocell goes down. They forced out both BKBs, but there wasn't any kill. I don't know. That was bizarre.
The fact that Ricky died exclusively to the 2 supports on Reality Rift shows you the stage that this game is at.
Yeah, man, it ain't good. It ain't that great. Well, it's real hard now. Makoto doesn't have Sane's Eclipse for another 2 minutes. Ooh, Lodi. Reality Rift are looking solid right now. To be honest, they have been playing this game quite well. They have not overextended. They have not put themselves into bad positions. Corrosive Haze stolen by Hyde. That's pretty nice. Don't know if it's going to quite be enough, though. The backup, the run in. Drew gets 1 kill. Can they find any more? Do they even need to? Arrow goes in and able to connect. Makoto, it ran through all of those other creeps. He's stunned for freaking ever. Pummeled. Is going to be able to save himself at the moment. Meanwhile, Sane's Eclipse comes out. Try and take down another round. Makoto just going to stay in a different plane of existence. I don't want to be here anymore, but he will eventually die. The astral plane is no salvation. As the second round of BKBs come out, KYXY tries to run away from Dreamocell, who's still taking through a lot of this damage. They do manage to bring him down. Meanwhile, the Cloud going to connect onto Drew. Diffusal Blade, but he has his BKB back up again. Turns to fight, takes down the Ricky. Dead for a minute. FBZ hoping to be able to find any more kills. 3 are already dead. As it looks like finally, Boom ID gets some signs of life. They take down 4.
Boom Esports got something out of that team fight. I'm a little surprised at how long Makoto waited to actually use that. The BKBs were running low. The Centaur only had about 5 seconds left until he was going to be back in the team fight. So why not buy back? Why not have an impact and actually do something as opposed to wait for Dreamocell to die and then come in? You know, maybe just trying to bait them out to stay longer than they had to, but no, it was a risky decision, and will they be able to take Roche quick enough?
I mean, this is the big question. Like, if Ricky was able to survive through that, this is super easy. But this right here becomes a much harder Roche to finish off. And you have to know right now, if you're Reality Rift, that this is what they're going for. Boom realize they cannot do it. They have to back out. The scan is not going to connect, and it looks like with that, Reality Rift have dodged a bit of a bullet. I mean, it's not like they're under too much fire or anything. That's still a 10,000 gold lead, but giving up the Roche right there would kind of suck. It would be annoying.
Yeah. I mean, it gives them the ability to maybe dodge through some of the burst potential that they have on Reality's side.
Right.
But yeah, Dreamocell dying to a Rubik and, a Mirana and a Lich solo. Yeah, I don't know about that. They didn't actually have any Sentry Wards down. It was exclusively the gem on the Slaughter at the time. That was the reason that happened.
They got the gem back too, right?
I believe so.
Oh yeah, Rubik has it. So Hyde picks up that gem. He's also hanging on to a quickening charm right now. I feel like maybe giving that to somebody else might be better, but I don't know, we'll see. Smoke up. Reality Rift want to put them in the coffin. And well, hello. Jump in, the pull forward, taken down. Hyde. Stampede was stolen, but it's not enough to keep him alive. Kezcute on the other side will get burned down to death. And
well,
with that, boom.
This Roche is much more takeable.
I mean, they've got a good ward in this area. Did they see Ricky? The pings are up there. I feel like they had an idea. Stomp. Going onto him, trying to take down Drew. Is it enough? No, he gets the BKB off. They would love to be able to get this kill, but it just ain't going to happen. And now they lose the Ricky. They're going to lose FBZ as he gets pummeled. 4 are now dead, and Roche is wide open. I mean, that's tough.
I mean, well, the thing is, I can see them going for that sort of play if the OD was in the vicinity. But he's sitting bottom, doing nothing but pushing out a creep wave. So why are you throwing away 2 heroes and the Roshan just to get a couple of creep waves? It's, yeah, a little odd. I guess he really needs the Mithril Hammer, but
yeah,
does he need it that bad?
I mean, that's really the problem, right? Is that, like, it's not that any one thing... Oh my god, they're ready to go in. The remnants are coming. We'll talk about it in a second, but yeah, it's looking very good for Reality Rift right now. Arrow almost connecting there on the FBZ.
I think they just need to give this up. They need to give up the racks. They can't make anything happen without Dreamocell.
Got a little Rubik remnant hanging out over there to the side. He's He's ready to
All right,
jump in.
they're going to go in now.
To be careful. Alacrity still hanging on to that Aegis. They have cheese on Ember. They can manage to get it. They need to blow up everybody. One giant Sanity's Eclipse to end all Sanity's Eclipses. Makoto, your time is now. Your time has passed.
Are under attack.
Maybe they'll have another chance in a second.
Wait, how did Hyde die?
You know, I don't know. I think that it was just Drew killing him with the Corrosive Haze. Oh, arrow. Good force staff.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Okay, another imprisonment. Leashed. They have 2 BKBs pop. This could be a decent timing right now. If they can wait out these BKB charges and then go for a second round, this could work. Banishment, another one. Chasing, arrow. Backed up. Makoto able to dodge away from that one. KYXI runs in. That's his BKB. Trying to run in now. Makoto seeing if he can find himself a kill. They're just going to be able to get at least one. Alacrity now turned upon. They have Sanity's Eclipse if they want to drop it. And they're not I don't know. That's 100 seconds with OD dead. And now the game, I mean, the game was over for a while. GG is called. 22,000 gold lead. It happens.
Makoto was playing with fire there at the very end. He had his BKB and he was trying to man fight against a Shadow Fiend that had a much better early game.
Yeah.
And it just meant that he couldn't astral himself. He actually could have right at the very end, but he just waited for the right clicks to land on it. Like it was like half a second timing that he had, but yeah, it just seemed like Reality Rift had this game from start to finish.
Well, impressive showing from them, definitely. And I think that, you know, you're talking about it there before, the problem of you know, 2 heroes heading off towards the Roche pit, Makoto down there bottom farming. To me, it spoke of like a team that had 2 different ideas of what they wanted to do throughout the game. Because everybody was like a step behind where they would normally be in terms of their farm because the lanes just went that poorly. And that's something that, you know, solvable by drafting maybe a little bit stronger laning stage. I don't know. Is there anything that stuck out to you besides that? It was a hell of a stomp.
Yeah, I think it was just honestly Makoto having a really down game. Alacrity played quite well. The fact that you're going to have a good time denying out those range creeps as the OD, he still lost pretty handily. A lot of the gold that he had to use from his net worth, like they were even-ish on the last hits and denies, but a lot of the net worth that he got was actually used on salve, so it wasn't actually transitioning into that mid-game where he was trying to have some sort of an impact, whereas Alacrity, he was just able to pick things up. He got a few lucky DD runes, I'll be honest, and a couple of regens as well that allowed him to just go straight back to his lane, but still, it was just a very dominant performance by Reality, and I'm quite impressed.
All right. Well, we'll see if you know, they're able to pick themselves back up again on the side of Boom Esports and Reality Rift. If they can keep up the pressure, if they can keep up this aggression, the play, like with the exception of that one dive on the top tier 3 tower, they looked quite strong and together, and like they knew what they needed to do at every single step of the way to make sure that they won that game. But ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break. Stay tuned. More to come here in the BTS Pro Series Southeast Asia region. It is game number 1 going to Reality Rift, but it's a best of 3. We'll see if Boom can bring it back after this.